break it down for people who don't understand, because even in 2024, I'm not too into the music biz like I used to be. But when someone takes your beat, and says, "Hey, I want to use it for my project," as did Kendrick Lamar and Future, do they have options to, let's say, here's $200,000 and you never get anything again, just $200,000 flat fee, or you get paid off streams and blah blah blah, the back end and things like that? Do you think they just go by streams, or do you think they still have the option, or have they ever had the option to say, you know what, I'll just give you 150 grand, we'll call it a day, I use your beat, we good? How does it work?
Usually when they do it, they offer you, hey man, here's the advance. I want to buy a piece of this publishing for this particular project. Okay, here's the advance, 50,000, 100,000, whatever the case may be, and it all depends on if they believe in the song or not. Some of them say, I'm just doing something just to say I did it. And again, it's totally different because there's no tangible instruments these days. There's no way of knowing how many records are sold. All you know is how many streams. There's probably no physical record to be made. No physical record to be made. And that's one thing about records. One thing about the record business I did not like is that it's not any no way to track how many records you actually sell. There's no serial numbers on records. All records look alike. There's no difference from the first one to the 50,000th one. There's no difference. There's not a running number to show you how many records you made. So that's for everything else has a serial number to it. Records don't. So you can track your digital sales a lot better because they have to keep track of it. But again, because the Senate allowed them to give us such a shitty deal, I'm looking at my man. What he says is says 6 cents per download. So you got to make 17 downloads to get you $1. Then that dollar gets split up between the artist and the publisher and everybody. So even when I do record deal, I do licensing deals, I get more money for licensing now because I don't make the money I used to make on download because everything is technically streaming. Okay, when I would do deals back in the day, they were playing on channel 7, channel 2, or 11, something like that. Well, my checks would be fat as shit because it's a different deal structure for celestial radio, celestial television. When you have a situation that everything is streaming now, everything, whether it's played on channel 11, channel 2, AMC, or whatever, is all considered streaming. So the revenue is more for television, but it's not as good as it used to be. So you got 17 downloads equals $1.06. As if they download it. If they just streaming it, you still got to have so many plays to qualify. And what is goal these days? 50,000 streams? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's way more. It's like a lot. You have to get a lot to go, quote, go.
500,000 streams.
Yeah.
Half a million records was gold. 500,000 records was gold.
Yeah, 500,000 streams, that ain't unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay, so 500,000 streams, what was his name? Robin Thicke, when he did that deal, as many streams he had on this song that Marvin Gaye's family sued for, he only made a few $1,000s on that shit. So I mean, it's a good little plug, but hopefully it'll end up on a commercial or something. Now that everything changes. If it ends up on a commercial, everything changes. Everything changes. One commercial will change your life. It'll change your address, change your tax bracket, change everything about you. Everything you know today will change for a record. For a commercial more so than it would for even for a movie. I had a record in Snowfall. Did okay. I ain't going nowhere. It don't pay the same.
Yeah. Talk to everybody about the importance of ownership, Lonzo, because 40 years later, Rodney and Joe Cooley are making money, hopefully, off of this song, and someone using their beat. 40 years later, either you could get paid, either your family could get paid if you're not here, or some white family in Calabasas can get paid off of your work.
I wonder if they're really getting paid, because I know that was back then, I think Egypt owned a lot of that stuff too. That was on the Egyptian Empire. I don't know if they had the publishing rights. I don't know if they had the master rights. I own all my shit. Okay, but I was never on a label other than Sony, and even then, I own the publishing. I'm not sure. I don't know what their business arrangement is. Okay, and it sounds good, looks good, but what's the actual behind the scene business arrangement? I'm not sure. I'm not aware of. Because Egypt could own the publishing. I think it might be on Egyptian. It might be on Egyptian Empire publishing, which changes a whole lot of shit. They'll still get paid.
We all know.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, they'll still get paid, but you got more hands in the pot.
That's right. Yeah, we all know Egypt needs more money because he hasn't made enough off that Egypt song. I hear that shit everywhere. I mean, everywhere, dog. Every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, just got paid.
Yeah. I'm hearing Turn Off the Lights more than ever before. Right these days also, man. It's just amazing. This stuff was made 30 years ago. And that's why I say, man, you make something that's a part of a person's life. And that's what music does. It's the soundtrack of someone's life or a time in their life. And when they hear that record, your mind automatically goes back to that time, whether it makes them feel good. There's some records make me sad right to this day for no reason. It's just because of the time that I was dealing with certain things. That record ignites those memories, and it makes you feel sad, and it has the opposite effect. Sometimes I hear the record, I just say, oh shit! I remember I was knocking down home, girl. Whoop whoop whoop! Oh my god! Every time I hear Michael Henderson, I am taken back to my girlfriend back in the day. That was her shit, Michael Henderson. Okay. And I go, oh yeah. It's good memories to Michael Henderson, Doc.
Jodeci takes me there. Jodeci was playing in the background the first time I ever got my first piece of Poontang. Okay. And every time Fiendin' comes on by Jodeci, man, I shed a little tear. Hey. It was over in 30 seconds, but it is. Hey. Homeboy ain't even got to the first verse, and I was already busting.
The tears lasted longer than the experience, huh?
Hey, let's move on, Lonzo. I was listening to another podcast, and they were talking about Eazy E specifically and how Eazy had a lyric in one of his songs. And once again, it was just a 5-second thing that caught my ear. But he said, when Eazy E said, Ice Cube writes the rhymes that I say. I'm sure you're familiar with the lyric. MCs, rappers have always had this thing with other people writing their lyrics. You're not, and there's this thing in the hip hop community, you're not a real MC if you don't write your lyrics. Drake is known to have writers and things like that. So people say he can't be a GOAT if someone else writes for him.